Hello, I'm reading Evie. Today I'm going to talk about Sara's Fear by Ernie Lindsey. It is the third and final book of the Sara Winthrop series, trilogy. So, let's get started on the plot. Bolstered by a newfound fortune, Sara Winthrop, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, is finally able to escape the horrific nature of her past. She's moved her family 3,000 miles from the bustling city of Portland to the rolling Appalachians of Southwest Virginia. Life is calm, the children are thriving, and she's protected inside her rural fortress. Or so she thinks. She soon discovers that the answers are never so easy. The illusion of security doesn't stand a chance against two dangerous enemies with money, motivation, and an unquenchable desire for revenge. Aided by the help of new friends and forced to the edge of extremes, Sara must find a way to win at all cost or die trying. My first note, Teddy got married. How cute. So if you remember from my first one, yes, I didn't talk about him in the last one. I did talk about him in the first one, though. So he's the son of her boss at the video game company, who she thought was the kidnapper, and then turns out he obviously wasn't. He was the one that went to the golf tournament that wasn't real, but because he was kidnapped. So, anyways, he got married, and I thought I read that maybe they were going to have a baby. I don't know. That may have been like one of those novellas or whatever, though. But I was like, oh. So Jim, Teddy's father, sold his company, so now Teddy is rich but still working. That actually surprised me. I mean, it is still like in the video game market or whatever. It still just kind of surprises me with what we know about Teddy. Good for him. Sara got $37 million out of the buyout, plus $25 million that the boss gave as an exit package. Rich is a little bit of an understatement. So Barker, who, if you watched my first one, I didn't really speak too much on the detectives, but there was John, and then there was, I think, his boss, or maybe an older coworker, Barker. So he was pretty old, and then John was the young one, who unfortunately got killed. But Barker was like a major character, kind of, in the second one. I know I didn't really talk about him, but he was with Sara, like, pretty much along this every step of the way, including where her house was exploded. So he got shot in the third one, but thankfully he's gonna be fine. But apparently he did a lot of damage. We don't know what. So it basically just may affect the rest of his work ability. He was, I think, pretty old anyways, so he might be close to retirement. Quirk died, so he was the bad guy that I talked about in the last one. I forgot his name. So that's a tad sad, despite him being a part of the bad side, just because we did hear a lot from him. And if you watched the ending of my last video, I was right. Shelley and Patty escaped prison together. I don't know that Patty was ever caught, though, to be honest. No, yeah, so she got out of a second explosion, and so she was on the run, so she broke Shelley out. Teddy's new wife has baby fever, and now they're talking about how it's because she recently just turned 30. Ugh. No thank you. I myself am 29, and it is not happening. No. They're like, oh, it's pretty common at that age. There's a couple Patty and Shelley killed. They were oversharing their plans, and it reminds me to stop oversharing details that nobody asked about. Yeah, it got them killed pretty quickly. So, note to self. Stick to the basics. Less than that, really, with strangers at least. I like that Willow, the babysitter, moved with Sara. But it makes sense because they were neighbors, so I think they were neighbors. So her house was probably also destroyed in the explosion. So they never really said. Hopefully Barker survives this book. So no detective died. No, there was some detective who died last book. I forgot about him. So yeah, I was hoping that no Barker, that I was hoping he stayed alive. As far as I know, he did. Shelley killed Bobby's dogs, evil bitch. So this is sad. I cared more about that than Bobby's Because Bobby was just, I don't even know who he was. Shelley just knew him, so she and Patty went over to his place, I guess, and he actually ended up trying to rape Patty, so off with his head. Sara says she never got weapons. I understand she has 3 kids, but it seems a little bit naive not to have some kind of defense other than the security system after everything she's been through. So Shelley tried killing Patty because she was planning on waiting to execute their plans now. Toxic beginning of a relationship. So, yeah, they were, I guess, in a relationship as much as 2 psychopath murderers can be. They kind of ruined that, but not really, actually. You would think. Sarah's about to lose yet another house, but her kids and Willow are safe, at least in a panic room, which was protected against fire. And so, yeah, Shelley and Patty successfully burned down her house. So I don't know how many houses she's gonna lose, but Sara used the same password for the safe. Are you kidding me? The same password that she uses for, like, everything. Mind you, Shelley was her assistant at work, so she knows all of her passwords. And she never changed it? How stupid. Now Shelley and Patty found the kids and the babysitter. Everyone was even telling her to change it this whole book, and she kept saying she'd get to it. Dumbass. Just picture Red from that 70s show. She really upset me with that one, because how stupid can you be? Randall, one of her new friends, her neighbor's actually, her new neighbor, who I think he was a sniper. So he and I think his sister, I think that said who she was involved in trying to protect Sara, who volunteered, obviously. She didn't, ask them to. So he sure is making a dramatic entrance at the last minute. The house is, burning down, and Shelley and Patty has the kids. And I can't remember what they wanted. Oh, no, they wanted to kill the kids. Well, they wanted Sara to suffer. So it was getting pretty close there. And Randall finally came in from whatever he was doing. And I think killed them. The ending was a little rushed. And I don't know if I zoned out or what. But I'm not sure if they died. But I'm assuming they did. Willow did, though. She died. I can't remember which one killed her, either Patty or Shelley, but Barker didn't die. The poor babysitter did, though. Teddy brought up the movie Twister. It's a good movie. So I can't remember the full context. I wish I wrote it down. I wish I wrote it down, but it was something about how comparing Sara to a cow, the cow in Twister, and basically she's just the innocent victim, and everything else is wreaking havoc around her, and that's the danger. It was supposed to be a decent enough metaphor, not calling her a cow, but whatever. It was a good movie, so I thought that was funny. And that's all my notes. So I really like this trilogy. I would recommend it, all 3 of them, even with Sarah's idiocy at the end there. Whatever, we can't just have the kids safe and sound, I guess. Gotta have some kind of danger and excitement. But I would rate the trilogy as a whole, honestly, maybe a 5. I really enjoyed it, and each one, even though the third one was going to be a little predictable because you had Shelley in the first one, Patty in the second one, so the third one was likely them coming together. I still enjoyed it. It was a fun read. They were all real short. I can't remember how long the first one was. I think 7 hours. But then the second and third one were 5 to 5.5 hour long audiobooks, so It was a real quick read, and if you listen to it at like 2-point speed or whatever madness, you would get through it a lot faster. I myself am a little slower pace at 1.5 usually. Anyways, let me know what you think if you've read them, or let me know if you liked them or hated them.